Well, good morning. It's kind of late. What is it, Monday morning, I believe. 10:40 Monday morning. We got most of our climb out of the way for the day. We were camped down there in the valley last night. Kind of buggy. You can see it's real alpine, real pretty valley, and we're going to get more shots of that later. But today we're up on Fox Creek Pass to start the day. It's a good, what, 500-600 feet up, I think, so far, and
yeah, we're going to come across water.
We're headed for the shelf right over here. To get there, we'll go up another couple hundred feet into this area right here. Beautiful lupine and paintbrush flowers still. There's Travis with his head net on. I wish I had one. Matt, and of course Dr. Fogarty. Little Pinnacle Butte there. I don't know what it's called for sure. I call it Pinnacle Butte. A few campers coming in from behind us, probably Marion Lake. So that's kind of a 360 view. We're looking in the sun, we're looking east. Still a good amount of snow, and just had a snack, and again doctored up our feet and injuries and that kind of thing, and we're ready to go. So 5.7 miles still in front of us till we get to camp for the night, but once we get this 200 feet out of our way, it's all pretty level walking until we get to Mount Meek Pass, where we'll drop down into the basin. So that's all I got for now. Everybody's feeling good, and we'll check in later. Well, we've made it across the shelf. We're nearing the Alaskan Basin. This is Mount Meek behind us here, along with Travis, and in the distance is Dr. Fogarty. Some nice meadows that we got across here. Some views. You can't see it through here, but that's Idaho in the distance. Should get a better view of that from Hurricane Pass in a couple of days. And then ahead of us is the Alaskan Basin, which is right below the Grand as we see it now. We're going to drop down. Of course, not on this side of the butte, not the other side of the butte. That saddle that you see right there is Hurricane Pass, so we're going to be on this side of that. And call it good for the night. About 2 miles left. It's all downhill. It should be pretty easy. And looking forward to camp. Had a good lunch. And this is kind of what we're looking at. Not a whole lot, just kind of wide open meadows. Flowers are kind of gone up here, but we had beautiful flowers across the shelf. It was wonderful. It was a nice walk. So hopefully the clouds will stay back, although it's not uncommon, and we'll have a dry evening. See ya. Oh, we've only walked about 5 minutes or so since our last video, but there's Dr. Fogarty up there playing in the snow. And so much for light impact on the environment. He's just all over it. He's washing his face. Look at that. I should zoom in. I hope that is not watermelon snow for his sake. Or he'll be shitting all over the place. Did I say that out loud? Sorry about that. Well, anyways, there's Dr. Fogarty enjoying a little snow. And as I turn back around to the west, again, similar view from the previous one, a little plateau here in front of us. But that's Teton Canyon. That's actually where we came in last year from the Idaho side. And as I pan around further to the north, well, there's Battleship front and center. And as I go down below, that's the Alaskan Basin where we intend to camp tonight. And again, back up to Hurricane Pass. And I believe, I could be wrong, there's Mr. Wagner. I believe these are the sheep steps in the talus. I could be wrong. It might be further ahead, but if my memory serves me right, these are the sheep steps. So off we go, and we'll check in with you later. Here we are in the Alaskan Basin. We made it to our camp destination for the evening. You see the tents all lined up in a row there. We had hoped to get to Mirror Lake, and we were successful. We did that. it ended up being a little longer today than we had anticipated. Easy hike, but ended up being closer to 9 miles as opposed to the 5 or 6 that we had anticipated. That's my fault. There's Buck Mountain, and right to the left of that, Static Peak. We're going to do our best to get up there tomorrow morning before we head out. Come back here, pick up camp, and up in there is the western side of the basin, and there's some switchbacks that are going to take us up and over that, and then down into Sunset Lake. You get a view of Battleship from another perspective. It's almost due west of where we stand right now. And as I walk up here a little closer, the sun's not cooperating today, but that's okay. We haven't gotten rained on yet. But again, off in the far distance, you can catch the sun beating down on the potato fields of Idaho, and we'll have a better look at that in a couple of days. But for now, we're here, and it's beautiful in the basin. It just doesn't belong. It just doesn't fit in with the rest of the landscape of the Tetons, and so it's pretty unique. There's Matt Wagner, and that's all I got for now. We had a couple of things I didn't say earlier is and I didn't take the camera out. I did take pictures, but I forgot to videotape. We saw a couple of moose up in Death Canyon, and that's kind of cool. Got to go for a swim in here when we arrived. Matt and I decided to get cleaned off a little bit. To say it's cold would be describing it nicely. And Matt was nice enough to get a couple pictures of us in the lake. There's the evidence of the wet clothing. We're hoping the sun comes out to assist in the drying of that. Otherwise, Dr. Fogarty is going to be carrying our wet clothes. So for now, I'm going to check out, and we'll see you more than likely tomorrow. Well, here we are. We made it up to Buck Mountain Pass, and I'm looking back into the basin, kind of west, southwest. Off in the distance, pretty much 12 o'clock from here is where we're camped. 2.5 miles up, a little bit of snow up here. Kind of cool. We had some campers, hikers that were from, I believe, California. And as oh, here we go. Up here's peak. That's Middle Teton, and then south, right in front of it. And of course, perspective. There's Battleship in the distance. I think that's a cool mountain. And right here's Buck. Well, there's not Buck. That's Travis. But right here is Buck. And around, as you kind of travel to the north and east, you can see a faint trail that leads along through a couple of those snow paths, kind of like this. And then right there, you can walk up to the top of Static Peak, and there's a benchmark up there. It's kind of cool. It's usually a pretty easy walk, but the snow could make it interesting. We will see. And then, of course, off in the distance, you can see the valley floor. It's still kind of hazy. That's Jackson Hole down there, and probably the Snake River and all kinds of stuff. Who knows? So I'm going to take a minute here to shut this off. My phone is just beeping like crazy. Someone's trying to make a call, and I'm going to make an attempt to call my wife. So until next time, peace out. Well, here we are at the end of day 3. We are making our ascend out of this Alaskan basin, and we had a nice hike today up to Buck Mountain Pass, and Matt and Mike forged on and actually caught the summit at Static Peak. That's very cool. And so here we are, like I say, leaving the basin. Actually, we're not leaving the basin. We're going to Sunset, which is another part of the basin. Looks a lot different than this, but still considered the basin. There's Travis. Yeah.
Followed us up.
And we're going to get up there, and then we get to go back down. So, getting closer. We'll check in with you next time.